From that, let's take you straight to the ODM headquarters where Andrew Ching is standing by. He was listening through the press conference where they were speaking about the ODM nominations that's happening in Busia right now. The incumbent, Sospita Jamong, is going head-to-head with Funyula Member of Parliament, Paul Otuoma. But there have been hitches here and there. Andrew, over to you.
Thank you very much, Trevor. Yes, as you just said, the National Elections Board is just giving an update of what is happening in the three counties that are today conducting the primaries, that is Busia, Bungoma and Machakos. Busia especially, where there is a hotly contested race for the position of governor between the incumbent Sospita Ojamong and the Funyula Member of Parliament, Paul Otuoma, who wants that position. And the Elections Board saying that everything at the moment is going on smoothly. There have been no incidents reported of insecurity or of any violence or chaos that have been there. Remember, in the morning we saw a heavy presence of police officers in the county who said that they wanted to man the ODM primaries in the county to ensure that nothing goes wrong. There have also been incidents of violence before this during the campaigns that were there between supporters of the two aspirants who are vying for the position of the governor. The Elections Board is saying that maybe 1 hour after the polls close, that is around 5 o'clock, for the stations that opened on time, then there will be the results will start trickling in for the stations that will have completed and started counting the results. They will be having several tallying centers, and there will also be a tallying center here. But just joining me now to elaborate more on the plans that have been set out for today's nomination exercises and perhaps for future ones is the Secretary to the National Elections Board of the party, and that is Mr. Bob Arunga. The party also gave out toll numbers to be called, hotline numbers to be called. What is the purpose of this?
The purpose of these hotlines is that they will be used to receive information which is coming from the ground, from the polling stations, from the wards, from the constituencies, which may be information which require attention by the National Election Board. But they also may be information gathering of the results from the polling stations. And also for the National Election Board to be able to communicate back to the presiding officers at the polling stations, the returning officers at the wards, the returning officers at the constituencies, and the returning officer at the county level.
What is the purpose of the tallying center that you will be having here? Where will the final announcement of the winner be? Will it be on the ground at the constituency or at the county level, or will it be here at your party headquarters?
The winner will be announced at the ward level for the MCA. And for the MP, the announcement will be made at the constituency tallying center. And the winner for the governor, the senator, and the woman representative will be announced at the county tallying center. Yeah.
Okay, so you as the one you are doing here nationally is just for your own housekeeping, or?
This, the tallying here will just be confirming what is happening there. But the announcements will be made at the polling station. The numbers will be announced, and those numbers will be tallied in the higher levels to confirm the MCA at the ward level and the MP at the constituency level, and so on. Yeah.
What sort of a turnout are you expecting, given that the earlier question we had asked during the press conference, given that there are, the party said, about 4.6 million members of the party. In these three counties that are conducting nominations, what sort of a turnout are you expecting so that maybe by perhaps midnight you will have known who the contestants from the party will be?
The members of ODM all over the country is about over 5 million. But The constituencies, I mean, or the counties where we're doing the nominations are about 27. The rest of the constituency, most people were announced unopposed because nobody applied to oppose them. And therefore, we issued about 850 certificates to the unopposed candidates. Now, we expect and we have worked and calculated that we expect about 70%, 60 to 70% turnout of the voters in these counties. But the report we are getting from the counties, the report we are getting from our returning officers, is that the turnout is so big, better than the general elections. In fact, it is all places are well contested. I mean, they are closely contested. And if you see the queues now, we expect that the turnout might even be more, about 80% in these nominations. In fact, the best compliment we had this morning was one of the older voters saying that this is better than IEBC. That is a major compliment.
Better in what terms?
Better in terms of organization, in terms of the timeliness of the opening of the polling stations and the turnout, and the peaceful nature with which people in queues behaved themselves.
Your opponents are carrying out theirs in one day. What was the reason for staggering yours to several, having only 3 counties per day? Maybe if you could go back to that. And what was the rationale of that?
You know, most of our opponents have never had primaries. ODM has had primaries in the last 3 elections. And we are aware of the challenges of conducting a nomination all over the country in one day. And as a result of the experience in our conducting nominations, it was decided that our primaries would be more efficient if they are staggered over the period allowed by the IBC.
What are we looking at going forward? Has the party set structures for issues like dispute resolution, and if there will be disputes, for instance, in Machakos or wherever it will be, what will be the chain? How will that progress going forward?
Well, before commenting on dispute resolution, the National Election Board has been devolved to the county level. We have the County Election Committee. At the constituency level, we have the Constituency Election Panel. And with regard to complaints and issues raised, we have County Election Appeals Board, consisting of 5 experienced people, either in the judiciary or people of good standing, people of integrity, who will deal with issues arising from these nominations 48 hours after the event. Yeah.
So from the party now, where they will be proceeding forward to other levels?
Yeah, they will be proceeding to other levels. There is the Constituency Appeals Board. Then there is the National Appeals Board. So if somebody wants to appeal, he can appeal to the County Appeals Board. And if he is not satisfied, he can go to the National Appeals Board. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. The Secretary of the National Elections Board of ODM, Bob Arunga, just highlighting some of what we should expect, not just today, but in the days going forward as the exercise goes on. That issue of appealing, very important, Trevor, because you remember the Chief Justice, David Maraga, the other day was saying that the judiciary will not entertain any appeals that have not been deliberated by the party and by other relevant bodies before they have come to the courts. So that is one key factor in that members of the party who are participating in the elections who have any disputes will first have to resolve them within the party and within other structures that are there, either at the political parties tribunal or other structures, before now they head to the judiciary. He has also spoken about the importance of staggering the elections. He's saying that their competitors who are doing their nominations on one single day have never had nominations before, and that is why probably they think they will manage in one day. We're yet to see how that will go on, and we will be covering that to see how it happens. But ODM says that given the history that it has had conducting nominations, that's why it decided to conduct its primaries staggered over several days and over different counties, going like that. Trevor, back to you.
Andrew, did you find it interesting that during the briefing, the ODM Elections Board said that the results will be transmitted both electronically and by the tallying sheets, which can be seen as the manual system?
Yes, it is interesting, but remember they have been asking the same of the IEBC. Remember that some of the amendments to the election laws are that the form that is used to announce the winner at the polling center in the constituency, in the polling station, will be scanned and will be submitted the way it is as a scanned form directly to the national tallying center, wherever IEBC will be using. So it is interesting that they are doing that, but that is what exactly they've been demanding of the national elections, which is even more competitive and has more at stake. Probably that is why they're doing that themselves. They're doing that themselves with their primaries.
All right, thanks, Andrew. That's